Hello! Okay, it's day 2 of Vlogmas and we're just going to sit here and have a little chat today, if that's okay. I think I'm a bit behind on doing trip announcements and keeping you up to date with what's going on with my future Disney trips. The reason is, I was thinking about this in the before times. People who did Disney content, podcasters like us or vloggers or whatever, they would come on and they would do a trip announcement or a trip update. And I've done those over the last year or so, but it's kind of been trip announcement, trip cancellation, trip announcement, trip adjustment, trip cancellation. And it just got a bit where even when I was telling people what I was doing, I wasn't feeling it because everything was crumbling around me and so uncertain. And I'd love to tell you that this is going to be a little bit different, but it probably isn't, because there are cancellations, there are disappointments, but there's some serious silver linings, and I'm just going to let you know where I'm at. Specifically with the Florida holiday. I might have a little chat about Disneyland Paris after that. So let's buckle up. Okay, so as you probably know, we went on the staycation UK cruises in the summer, and while we were on there, we bought a placeholder. I fell in love with Disney cruising, and my next holiday is going to be my 40th birthday. Not my 40th holiday, my 40th birthday. So we cancelled the 2021, we cancelled 3 2021 ones, and now we're on to the big one now. So I felt like I was owed a lot of Disney magic. So in addition to the Disney World trip, we tacked on a 3-night Bahamas cruise, and I was really excited to go to Castaway Cay, and so was Bonnie and so was Hugh. We'd thoroughly sold on this idea, and through various reasons, because of the dates I chose and the fact that I got something that was GTY status, that means you're guaranteed a room of at least the level you pay for, but you can't choose your room, but there's always a small chance you'll get upgraded. So that was a cheaper room, and the fact that I had the 10% placeholder, we got a really good deal on it. So this was the holiday. 1 night at Cocoa Beach, 3-night cruise, and then 10 nights at Disney World. And then, this is the recent drama. It was announced, I think maybe last week, maybe the week before, that Disney cruises were now requiring over 5s to be vaccinated. For the UK cruises, it was over 18s, and then I believe the US, it was over 12s. Now it's over 5s. Bonnie's 7, and the the UK government haven't approved any vaccines for the under 12s. The US government has, which is why they can get away with this. But as soon as I heard, I was like, all right, so we're going to have to get Bonnie vaccinated then. And then I realised, well, no, it's not a case of going private. It's not a case of, pulling some strings and telling some fibs about being vulnerable. There's nothing you could do. They just weren't approved for the under 12s. So basically, that puts an end to that. Now, we haven't officially cancelled yet. All we've got tied up in it is a couple of £100 for the deposit. So we're leaving that be. We can also get a full refund if we decide to, because it's COVID related and it's not our fault. So for time being, we thought we'll just leave that money there for now, cancel in a few weeks or months when we've worked out what's going on. But looking at the time scale, with the fact that they like to leave 10 weeks between vaccinations and you've got to be vaccinated at least 2 weeks before departure, and there's not even whispers of it being about to be approved yet, so I think it'd be a couple of months before it's approved. It's very, very unlikely that Bonnie, who is only 7, so she's not even at the top of the age range like the 10 and 11-year-olds, is likely to be vaccinated by then. So we've kind of made our peace with this. Okay, I'm just going to move you down a bit. That's a bit better, isn't it? Okay, so we've kind of made our peace with this. And the reason is, it was going to cost a big chunk of cash. And the original blowout was, heck, we've cancelled 5 holidays and this is my 40th. We're gonna do it. We're gonna spend it. But money's not that easy, is it? You have these finite resources and you have to decide what to do with things. There are other things I wanted to do. We have talked a lot about doing Disneyland Paris when Avengers Campus opens and for the 30th and things like that. All costs money. So the alternative to doing the cruise is simply spend 4 more days at Disney World. Now, because we can't change the flights, so we're there 4 days early. So we're getting 14-day tickets anyway, and I'm going to come back to that because there's a chance we might get a different type of ticket. So we've already got 14-day tickets, so we don't need to spend any more money on tickets. We've got the right number. We're DVC members, so we can just book hotels using points. Now, again, that can be a little misleading because any points that I borrow from next year to use this year come off next year's trip. But all in all, right now, it doesn't cost us any more money other than in food and things like that to go to Disney World for 4 more days, and we save the amount of money that's from the cruise. Now, the other thing is, we want to take my mum and dad to Disney World in February 2023 because it is my mum's 75th birthday and my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. So we really, really, really want to treat them. Now, we can do that using DVC points. We're going to get a 2-bedroom. They're going to stay with us for 6 nights and then they're going to go, I believe they're going to go to St. Pete's Beach or something. They're going to leave us and go somewhere else in Florida. So we're treating them to the accommodation. But it is an expensive holiday and they're saving up like mad, and I'd really love it if we could pay for their theme park tickets, or if the dining plan was back, maybe we could pay for them a dining plan, something that would just take the financial pressure off them so it could be a real treat from us, because as we know, everything in Disney World's expensive. Everything. That brings me back on to, do you know, I'm explaining all this in very random orders, but that's because being Vlogmas, I've not done notes or plans. I'm just like, let's sit down and chat. Sit down and chat. Thank you for having a chat with me. That brings us back to the tickets. We've got 14-day tickets in May 2022. We're planning on going in February 2023. That is less than 12 months apart. So we looked into getting annual passes. Now, since bringing the annual passes back, they've changed the rules in that resale DVC members at the moment can get the DVC annual pass, which we couldn't get before. So we can get the slightly cheaper annual pass. Now, maybe I'll do another video on this one, but it appears to be slightly dodgy in that people are ringing up ticketing and saying, am I able to buy this? And ticketing are saying, yes, of course you are. And people are going, are you sure? Because I'm a resale member. And then other people ring up and be told they can't. So it's just fingers crossed that that goes okay. But we've done the maths and we will save a lot of money getting annual passes. And that's without the fact that we will have 10% discount off food and merch for both holidays. So that's a lot of money for 2-week holidays there. But they cancelled, they didn't cancel the cruise. They made the announcement about the cruise, which led us to decide to cancel. We thought about it for a week and then went, you know what, let's cancel and use that money that we're not going to spend on paying the balance on the cruise to upgrade to annual passes now. So we've got them, and that means we can make all the park passes and stuff. So that decision was made between Hugh and I, and then the following day I woke up to the fact that they'd suspended sales of annual passes. Now I'm really nervous because this lovely little loophole, and it wasn't an illegal loophole, these were Disney cast members selling them, but this little loophole of resale members being able to get the DVC annual pass, I'm really worried that they'll close the loophole when they recommence sales, and then I'll have to do my maths all over again because we won't really be saving much by getting annual passes then. So then it comes down to calculating whether the discounts are worth it. Whereas if we get the DVC pass, there's a big difference in cost. I am rambling, aren't I? Never mind. So that's a consideration. Now then, oh, I've just realised I never told you which resorts we booked. When we had to when we decided that we weren't doing the cruise, I had to strike while the iron was hot because DVC availability goes, you know, like something off a shovel. So I went straight on that day onto DVC website, and there was a few things that were available. I could get Animal Kingdom Lodge for the full 4 nights. Both Jambo House and Kidani, I could get Saratoga Springs for the full 4 nights. But I didn't really want to do Animal Kingdom Lodge because I think that's going to be, in the future, a trip in itself, like a full week or 10 days at Animal Kingdom Lodge, because it's such a resort. It's not somewhere you just go because you need a bed. Saratoga Springs, easy. We want to stay there because it's our home resort, and so you feel an attachment to it, but it hadn't been a priority for other reasons. But then there was a little cat amongst the pigeons. With all these trips that I've cancelled, some of them you get emotionally attached to. And there was one that was our August trip 2021 where we'd booked our first, well, originally it was 3 nights, and then we increased it to 5 nights at Bay Lake Tower. Now, it's never been my dream resort in terms of the resort itself. I'm not much for contemporary architecture, etc. But I'd really sold myself on the idea that the first day we would come from the airport and arrive at the Contemporary, which is an iconic resort, and then be able to immediately walk to Magic Kingdom to get a hot dog or something for our tea. And I was just so excited about that idea. And even if we felt too tired to go to the Magic Kingdom, the fact that we could go to one of the upper floors and have a look out at the Magic Kingdom and be that close and be amongst the magic, I was really sold on that idea. Now, I might do another video about what the Polynesian resort means to me, but it means a lot, does the Polynesian, and that's what we've got booked for the rest of this holiday. We've got 7 nights booked at the Polynesian, 3 at the Boardwalk. So even though I was really, really excited to stay at the Polynesian, and that was the reason I joined DVC in the first place, so that I could in some way afford to stay at that resort, I'd also was a bit about losing that idea of doing my first night at the Bay Lake Tower. So when I looked, availability, just 1 night was available in the whole month of May, and it was the night we arrived, the 19th of May. So I booked 1 night in Bay Lake Tower, followed by 3 at Saratoga Springs. So the idea is we go to Bay Lake Tower, we bask in the glory of the Magic Kingdom, we walk over there, we have our first breakfast at Chef Mickey's, and then the bags get taken to Saratoga Springs. We come back from the parks, and then we can do a bit of browsing in Disney Springs over those first, 2 or 3 days, before moving back to the Polynesian when we're back in the thick of it again. And I just thought the flow of the holiday with that little combination would be magical. And then the longest stay of the holiday is 7 nights at the Polynesian, which has been my dream literally for over 20 years, to stay at the Polynesian. And then the final 3 nights, just to shake it up a bit, we're going onto the Boardwalk, where we will be in walking distance of Epcot. Right, I think that's told you everything. Do you know, I sat down here not having a clue what I was going to say to you, and everything just bubbles out of me the minute I start talking about Disney. I'm sure you're the same. If you're the kind of person watching something like this, you love to chat Disney. So you let me know if you had DVC points going spare and you had to do a last minute look at the availability spot for those first 4 nights. Which hotel would you have chosen? Would you have chosen Wilderness Lodge? That was on the plate, but we decided architecturally it was too similar to the Polynesian, and we like to sort of mix our styles up a bit. Or the other option, really cheap for points, would you have saved the points and gone to Old Key West? You tell me. What would you have liked to do? And do you have any trips booked coming up? Anyway, for now, that's Vlogmas Day 2. See you tomorrow.